it's one of those things where like we're talking on screens, and I also tend to sometimes do that even with people where I feel like I'll be talking, but I'm projecting to someone else. When in reality is it's like you should be kind of just keeping your attention mostly centered on things. So I am getting better at that.
Yeah. I mean, for me, it's definitely egotistical. Whenever I'm looking and I'm looking at this position, I'm looking at myself. Okay. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's me. That's what's going on. You got a new vape? What is that?
Oh no, it's still the same one. Still, this one
Mexican
lasts pretty
mango?
long for me. Yeah, Mexican mango, which still got to figure out where like what's. I think they still continue it, but they replaced the line with the rechargeable or the replaceable rechargeable batteries,
I have the
right?
next
So
one. I have the next one, Mexican mango. I really, really should stop. It's really hard to stop, guys. It's actually,
you
it's
got to
not
wean
the easiest
downward.
thing
No,
to
no. The
do.
problem with this is, as like my homie John Doe has said, is that these are fives, and the thing is, like, in order for you to wean off, you need like vapes that are like threes and ones. The problem is threes and ones are actually harder to find, in terms of like where they sell them. Like five seems to be the gold standard when it comes down to like vapes. So
1% seems that's psychotic. 3%. Come on now. If we're gonna even do it, the fuck is we doing?
yeah, but the problem also being that with 1% vapes, you're still like, again, if you have an oral fixation, you're just going to still like take pulls of it, right? So, but ideally, when you have like a lower, milligram vape, then it'll help you wean off it, even if you have like an oral fixation. It's just finding the flavors that you like. I think it's a different thing. You know what I mean?
Honest to God, it's not even about oral fixation anymore. Pause. It's mostly because of it's a mono fixation. I need to have something in my hand. Pause again. But it's weird. Like if it's not this, then I will
Do you
hold
feel like you
my
fidget, Gabe? Do you feel like you fidget with like things in
without
your
it.
hand? Without it? Like, or do you without a vape, if let's say you had no vape right now, like what would you do with your
If I
hand? Would you
fidget,
be like fidgeting? Would you
to be
fidget?
to be honest,
Like,
I don't even know what the definition of fidgeting is because it reminds me of my friend Wendell, who like he cannot. His hand is always like this. It's always in
is he
vibration.
like shaky? Like he has unsteady hands?
He has unsteady hands. But even in that definition, I don't believe that is considered fidgeting. Do I have a fidget? I don't think so. I don't really, really think so. It's now at this point, the vaping is so bad. I can't just say it's an oral fixation. It's
Uh-huh.
a mono fixation, an oral fixation, a flavor fixation, a
Hmm.
breathing feeling fixation. It's now invaded into my life. And I'm a little bit scared because when push comes to shove, am I really going to have that energy to get off of it? You know, I have done it in the past. And I never want to ever again say that I'm gonna stop it because like, why are you telling people how long you've been off it? So then you remember how long you had that break and then you're gonna get back on?
You
Some
have to find
bullshit like
something
that.
else that would like take away that fixation. Again, I joke about this, but when like, I was in college and we attended like an AA meeting, because again, some psychology classes encourage you to attend, I think, certain
You
organization
were
meetings
in
for
a
like,
AA meeting for real, for real?
yeah, I sat in the AA meeting. Like I
Wow.
sat in an AA meeting with Leia actually. And so we went to one that was like being held in the church. But here's the thing. So
Yeah.
all of them gave up alcohol. And of course they have their way of like, keeping themselves accountable, how many days they've been sober. The thing is, all
Hmm.
of them were outside smoking before they went to the meeting itself. So it's kind of crazy when you think about it that like, and this is not talking ill about it, but just kind of observing that they've been able to displace alcohol addiction, which is very bad and like really affecting their livelihood, into something else that is still perhaps problematic, but at least it's not as problematic for their livelihood like the way alcohol was. You know what I mean?
See, I don't want to get into it like that, but I
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
feel
yeah, yeah, yeah.
no, 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 and it's okay. But like,
Yeah.
just it's just like you said. If you saw people at AA meetings, right, who are trying to quit an alcoholic, a product, alcohol. Did I say
Yeah.
trying to quit an alcoholic product, alcohol? Yes,
Yeah,
but you're
yeah,
trying
yeah.
to quit an addictive product, alcohol,
Yeah,
and then move that into another addiction. Is that really helping them? I don't know, man.
I do wanna say that it's addressing something. I mean, you have to kinda displace it, but being able to convert that energy into something more productive or something that's a bit healthier. Like, it is an observation. I'm not saying that is the pathway, but it is something that is at least kind of displacing a fixation or addiction to something else that is, again, arguably better.
Yeah,
So,
it's it.
yeah.
I think in the pursuit of trying to cure your addictions, that is a that could happen. But let us not discount the many people who have been positively affected by AA, right? Even though I'm not like the biggest
Oh
believer,
yeah,
and
yeah,
I'm
no,
not the
no, no.
biggest
This is
believer of
yeah.
like what is that? Psychiatry. What the fuck is that shit? What is it when you go to therapy? Like I have a therapist, right? I'm
Yeah,
not
yeah.
sure if therapist is really the best way to get the help that you need. Does it definitely help people? Absolutely. Is it a one all be all to all people and all problems? Definitely not, right?
Well,
So I don't
you know,
know.
on in that conversation, it depends if you feel really comfortable with your therapist. You
Yeah.
can go to someone for help and assistance, but at the end of the day, it dials down to you being able to have the willpower to change, to make that change for yourself. So
It's not
again,
like your therapist is God. You know what I'm saying? And I say that loosely, like it's not like your
yeah.
therapist is someone who's gonna have the best answers, really, really looking out for you. When you're talking to another person, in a sense, even if they are licensed and they're the best therapist ever, it may not, it's like the blind leading the blind. And it's I'm not saying that this motherfucker's blind. No, this is a very, very licensed blind person. I'm just saying, like, what the fuck, dude? Can I not
No,
be skeptical of all things? Like, shit.
it's okay for you to be skeptical. I would at least be on the point that it is helpful because you need someone who's impartial and who has like no like again, who hasn't really had this history with you
Yeah,
or
yeah.
understanding of what you are and can kind of just give you insight from a perspective that isn't again necessarily judgmental. They are just coming from a place that is trying to give you constructive criticism and helping you like unpack things that are affecting you or traumatic to you, right? So
No,
I'm
I
of the
I
mind
believe
that it's
it.
super helpful. Yeah.
No, 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 no. I am of the mind, just like you, that it is very, very beneficial. I would love to have a therapist. But if you want to get into another question about that whole system, then we could say that, hey, man, if I really, really need that, why is that shit so expensive? There is a business surrounded by this thing that we need that is very beneficial. Hey, man, that's another topic to go talk about, which we don't have to go there. I'm just saying, man, when money is involved, you never know what could happen, really.
No, I get it because in the end of the day, like our world and where we live is dictated by our health insurance, especially when it's like privatized. Again, trying to not get into too much of a conversation with it, but that is problematic when not everyone can afford it. And
Yeah,
so, yeah,
I did you hear that shit online? I saw something online where like if you're just going to look for a dentist on your very own now, you want to make sure that that dentist is old as fuck and not some young ass kid cuz usually it's the young people who are going to stack their what is it? They have like this procedure playbook that they're gonna put you on for the very first time, right? It's like what
uh-huh.
the fuck? It's your care program, right? They customize this care program, and then they're usually a little bit more aggressive compared to that older dentist who has been there for the longest time, has seen everything, and is like, come on, I already made my money. I don't need to fucking get it, right? And I will tell
Yeah.
you, when I went to the dentist recently, I saw two dentists, this young
Uh-huh.
Indian kid who put me on like fucking 3, 4 root canals. I was like, what the fuck is going on? Like, is it
That's a
this
lot of root
bad?
canals, dude.
And then
Yeah.
when I saw this older Jewish gentleman, he was like, what are you talking about? Like, who saw this man? Like, you don't need a root canal there. Like, that's nothing. That's nothing. So, come on.
Well, hold on. I'm curious about this.
That's
Like,
what I said.
so
He saved me
why did
$2,000.
What did the young doctor like, what was his justification for, like, putting you through the root canals?
Oh,
Like, did you have
man.
cavities, like, severe cavities? Like, what's the
No,
whole
I
ish
had
with that?
no cavities. Okay. Which, to my surprise, I was expecting 1 to 2. Keep in mind, I haven't seen the dentist for a very, very long time. A la that
Okay.
shit that I was talking about before. Them shits is expensive as well. So I started seeing a dentist. I'm getting paid now, bitch. Right. We got to get
Uh-huh.
these teeth sexy. Right. He gave me 4 root canals and he justified it with my teeth grinding. And I have a feeling, shout out to everyone out there, whatever the fuck is going on, Filipino men have this thing with teeth grinding. I don't know what the fuck. How about you? Do you have that?
I don't think so. Yeah, at least
Me and
I've
like
been
3 of my
told
homeboys
about.
have that shit. I don't know what.
You grind your teeth at nighttime? Do you wear, like, a mouth guard at all for, like, helping avoid the grinding?
They offered me a mouth guard for like $360. Guys, oh my God. Let us have a moment of silence for the amount that this mouth guard cost, $360. And I literally said to this lady who was trying to sell me on it, I said, come on now. Like, I'm going to get it, probably going to use it for 2 weeks. And it's just not really in me to use it consistently. And you know what she said? Oh, I completely understand that. Let's remove this $360 fucking charge off your shit. When realistically, I could have went to Dick's Sporting Goods, bought myself a $25 mouth guard, and it could have been the same ass shit, right? It is what it is. But shout out to my old Jewish gentleman doctor who hooked me up. Come on.
Just to quickly chime in on like my
Yeah.
like recent dentist visit, right? So I had to choose a new dentist recently, and I
Uh-huh.
chose one in the city. I was like using ZocDoc to find a dentist, but
Same.
apparently, yeah, but ZocDoc's got its like own set of issues, and so like sometimes I kind of question how it like shows which doctors are under your coverage. Like I had this whole thing where like I actually switched doctors because I thought ZocDoc said they weren't covered, when ultimately I just have to call my health insurance and then verify it. I thought ZocDoc's information was like up to date.
Everything is not
Anyway,
perfect.
yeah, but that said, so my dentist used to be here on Bell, and I think they changed locations, so I just ended up looking for another location, and I went for one in the city closer to my workplace, even though I wasn't like, too fond of the commute. But there's something about him that made me stick with him because in my first examination with him, so I had braces, for about 6 years of my life. And I kinda noticed nothing really bad necessarily, but I noticed there's, like, a stain on, like, one of, like, my front teeth here. And so, as he's examining me, he's, having, like, an interesting conversation with me about, like, like, my teeth. And he asked me, "Hey, I just noticed this, but it looks like you still have some adhesive from when you had your braces." Mind you,
Yeah.
dude, this has been more than a decade since I've had braces, right?
And you've seen
And
dentists since, right?
and they have not said a thing, right? And so,
Damn.
I was like, "Oh, hey," like, I didn't realize that was, like like, I kinda noticed, but I didn't realize it was still, like, prevalently there, and she's like, "No worries, like, I can just zap that out for you, like, it's no issue whatsoever." And my teeth came out cleaner and nicer than it ever did, so it's just funny where, like, that kind of locked me in with him because that little attention to detail just made me feel a lot more comfortable with someone who is, again, just taking care of something that is a huge part of my life, And so, yeah, man, like, even though the commute sucks because it is in Midtown, so I would have to take the Long Island Railroad into the city, but the fact that he was so attentive to do that was nice. You have to vet your dentist, like, all of them are gonna try to make their money, and find someone that you feel, like, actually cares and can literally say, "Hey, you need this? You don't need this." Especially if they say, "Oh, like, I don't think you need this." That's good, like, I like that objectivity rather than like, "Oh, like, just you need XYZ, and I don't think I understand why I need it." Right?
That's what I'm telling you. You have to vet your dentist. You have to vet your therapist. All of that shit is really what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, what is going on? Welcome to another episode of the Dual Cast, episode 8. And 8 is actually one of my most favorite numbers in the last recent years. Ever since I
Really?
started my store, right? My business.
Uh-huh.
For whatever reason, I tied it to fate. I tied it to
Okay.
something larger than me. So it's like
Alright.
every password that I have for it includes an 8. My pricing for my items end in like 528. I try to put as many 8s as there as I can possible because freaking the Chinese, this is a great number. It's the number for wealth. That's what they say. I'm not Chinese whatsoever, but come on, we have to borrow and take everywhere. Come on, that's what you call culture for real.
Like, you should look into numerology, Gabe, because I feel like every person has, like, a number that they identify with.
Of
I can't really
course.
speak on it on the same level as, like, astrology, right? But, yeah, like, I'm guessing 8's your number, and you should totally look up what 8 relates to in numerology just because you brought that up.
It wasn't always, but like growing up, thinking about it now, I was always fond with 11. I was always fond with 21. I was
Uh-huh.
always fond of recently, I'm very, very, very fond of 13. 13 is a freaky one because I've been seeing it all over the place. If I'm
Yeah.
driving and it says, oh, how many more minutes? When I'm looking, it'll say 13. I know that
Mhm.
sounds so stupid, but if I'm going to an event and I reach the event, it's fucking 913. It's
Mm.
crazy. It's crazy. Like when I wake up in the morning, like out of nowhere, it'll be 2:13, right? And my
13's a
clock
lucky
is
number for
ahead.
Asians, though, you know? So
For
13
real,
is
Asians?
yeah, so for Asians, 13 is a lucky number. For, I guess the Western audience, 13 is not. Like, again, you think about Friday the 13th, right? And so
I
also a
love it
lot of
because of that. I love it.
yeah, a lot of buildings don't actually have a floor 13 also. You look at, like, literally the buttons on an elevator, like, especially the high rises, a lot of them skip 13
I
because
know. I
they're
know.
superstitious about that, you know?
They skip 13, but the 14th floor is
It
actually the
is
13th floor
representative of 13, but
of the
also
13th.
you
No,
can't
I get you. I get you.
like, the bottom floor counts as a floor, so technically it's all, like, just again, superstition just for the
Yeah.
idea of the number 13, you know?
Honest to God, if I'm in a hotel and like I get it, 13 is a freaky, freaky number. Let's not make a floor. But if I notice it and I remember it, sometimes I'll notice it and remember it like, I 11, 12, 14. I will then get freaked out. There's something weird about it. I'll be like, ooh, shit. Why does this building has to not have a 13th floor? The fuck is going on here?
Superstition for the West, but, you know, since you brought up 8 and I decided to look it up,
Yeah.
according to, I guess, the web, the number 8 symbolizes balance, power, material success, and driven by a strong connection to karma and the principle of giving and receiving.
John Doe's
People
dad's Hummer
yeah.
has fucking 4, 5, 6, 8s in it. His license plate is like 8852886354 8. Like it's crazy. It's mad eights. I was like, what the fuck? But
Hey,
go on,
yeah.
player. What the fuck?
Yeah. It's again just like it's yeah, it's a symbol for wealth and, you know, but yeah, dude,
Mm,
that's kinda cool. I think if I had to
yeah.
choose like my number, the number that I associate with, I think it's 3.
3. Ooh. 3 is the
3.
strongest number, they say. Am I incorrect? They say 3
Oh,
is the
3 is a
strongest
great
number.
number. I have like a
Or
whole
is that
stick
4?
behind it, right? That 3, again, like you think about threes in so many different things, like the Holy Trinity, 3 blind mice, 3 little pairs, in terms of like engineering a triangle, 3 vertices
Yeah.
is like one of the strongest structures supporting, you know. So
Yeah.
kind of cool looking into these numbers here.
3.
But yeah, cool, dude. You know, we missed you actually at, you know, just kind of like moving on to the weekend though. We did miss
Yeah.
you at, you know, the birthday hangout this weekend.
It was a very interesting weekend. I don't want to get into it too much. I
I
will say
understand.
this though. No, and it's not in a sense a bad thing. It
Mhm.
is some weekends you really, really need to catch up. The last 2 weeks, I've been every weekday, sometimes getting 3, 4 hours of sleep, and it's really, really catching up to me. Where in the weekends, I really can't have it no more. Maybe it's a mix of the weather, right? Remember
Mhm.
sometimes last week we had a little bit of a cold spurt. Unfortunately, because of the chaos of it all, and that's why I only say unfortunately, outside was really, really hot. It was really nice weather. So I was like a little bit
Yeah.
freaked out. But I don't know, man. The season doesn't get me as spruced up and hyped up enough to hang out as much as I wanted to and did during the summertime. So yeah,
Mm.
it is what it is. I do feel bad about not showing up,
No, it's okay, dude. You have
whenever
to
I do get
like
invited to something, I do want to show up. And I
you have to
totally
rest.
forgot to text you. Like, yo, tell Justina I can't do this. For
It's
real.
okay.
I can't
Yeah.
do this for real.
But,
But yeah.
you know, I guess to tell you what, you know, went on for it. And I guess just
I
talking
played
about
some
what was really
fucking
cool.
stupid ass game. What the fuck is going on?
So it's called a fox hunt. The fox hunt
Yeah.
is pretty much the game starts where the birthday celebrants or celebrants go over to a location and within like a specific square radius, they're going to choose a random bar. And it's great if, especially when you have a whole cluster of bars. So 20 minutes goes by, and then everyone else must go on the hunt for this person. And they could put clues in the chat or, again, the particle, whatever you're using to communicate with everybody. And what's nice is that, again, there's a buy in. And this is kind of the reason or the driving force by why you want to get there fast. Aside from
Mm.
finding the birthday celebrant and having a good time with them, right? But in an effort to obviously, encourage people and get, like, a good party going, every person kind of gives in, like, 15, $20 into the pool,
Hmm.
and so the faster you find the birthday celebrant, the faster you're able to partake in the pool meant for alcohol, and
Got you.
so
Yeah.
yeah, and so it's funny, like, you know, that night, John John's the first person I know who actually, did the fox hunt and inspired a bunch of people to do the fox hunt.
Where was
And I
it?
might
In
do this, yeah,
LIC or Brooklyn?
in Brooklyn, yeah, like right
Brooklyn.
around like the Vital Greenpoint area. And so
Gotcha.
John's very competitive. He already did this before, and he wants to find people so he can also partake in it. The thing is, and I love John, but he was overthinking it of like where to go to find everybody. When part of the game is that once you go to a bar and you don't find them, you take a shot. One person has to take a shot. I kind of messed up the rules and like, I got everyone
Fuck
around the
that.
shots and vice versa.
That's
But here's the
okay.
thing.
That's
Yeah.
okay.
But here's the thing though. So they were hiding in plain sight. They were literally in like the first bar down the block. And like all the friends didn't think that they were gonna be there.
Justina and
It
all of them hid at the first fucking closest bar.
Yeah.
How
Like
many?
literally
Hold on. How many people found them immediately?
20 minutes or just like under an hour to find like everybody pretty much. Yeah.
Okay.
Like we went farther down, like, the block radius of the game itself. And it's just funny because in my head, I'm like, if we had played the game literally like, spot on, we could have easily intercepted them at the first bar because we walked past it.
People purposely skip the first bar thinking that no, there's no way that it's gonna be going
Yeah,
into the
because it's
first
like it's a
bar.
bar that had food and everything, and it's just like, oh, there's no way. But again, yeah, like if certain people played the game properly, they would have hit them within the first, like the
Fucking
first.
5 minutes.
Yeah, which is again, it's kind of funny, but they took pictures of like a bar further down and vice versa. So you do have these like, feints to try and trick people, be like, oh, I am actually further down when the reality is they could be closer. So that's the fun of the game. I kind of like that whole stick. I know it is a lot of walking. We did walk a bit,
Who did
but
you who did you walk with? Who did you partake this
so
search party?
John and Vince and two other guys, Nestor and Tristan. So it was fun.
Okay.
Like again, we went to the first bar, got the first round, went to another bar. They weren't there, so we had another round. And then I think the other group stopped communicating. So that was kind of like a telltale sign, like, oh, they're like definitely they already found him and they might be a lot closer than we anticipated. And sure enough, it was actually at the one bar that was
Hmm.
right after the bar that we started at.
How many
So
drinks were you able to get from the pot?
I got like 2 drinks from it.
All right. Was there a lot of people there?
Yeah, there's like
Was there
about
a lot of people
20.
there? Come on.
Yeah, there's like about 20 people that night. So yeah, it was
20?
good.
I felt like mad people say yes on the event.
I think 20. So I want to say 24. A couple of them didn't show up, and a couple of them did. So I feel like it kind of bounced. I think there's like about 20. I didn't keep a stat count in my head exactly,
Hmm.
but I think there's about 20 people here at the event. So, but yeah, man, no, that's again, I think that's a game that I think is kind of fun, especially if you are into bar crawls or just want to do something kind of creative for your birthday. At least for me, like my birthday is coming up in about like a month and some change, and I'm thinking about
What are
well,
your top contenders of what you want to do?
ooh, all right. So this is number
Realistically,
one.
realistically, don't even entertain ideas that you're not gonna do. Just
Realistically,
what?
this is number
Realistically,
one.
yeah.
Number two would be
Wait,
karaoke again.
what is number one? Fox
The
Hunt?
Fox Hunt. Number one's the Fox Hunt.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, okay,
Number
okay,
two is karaoke redux.
okay.
Like round two. Number three, it could be just something more simple, like in my years before, where I go to a bar, invite a bunch of people,
There's
and
nothing really wrong with that. I think sometimes those are the best ones, especially if you have a good location that could stimulate your party group, right? I
I
think
know.
that's honestly the best.
Yeah, that's something that I've thought about too. Because the problem with the first one is that it's a lot of walking, and my birthday gets kind of cold. So
Word,
Uh,
word.
I think about it, like, I want people to find me fast enough. I don't want them to be, like, walking forever pretty much. Like, I want everyone to be together. That's kind of the objective of it, right?
Yeah.
Karaoke was fun last year. Might bring it back to classic where it's like, "Oh, hey, I chose this bar location. Let's have a couple drinks." I did, like, Break Bar a couple years ago, which, you can pretty much throw your glasses or cups or anything that you drink with at, like, a wall in the back, to kind
Yo,
of let off
you
some
should
steam.
check out a place. I don't know why I'm suggesting this,
Yeah.
but you should check out a place called No Flex. Have you seen
No
No
flex. What is
Flex?
no flex?
To the
No flex
motherfuckers that
zone.
know, to the motherfuckers that know K Town for real, for real. This is the bar that you've never gone to. There's always been a crazy bar from the outside. Like it's in K Town. It's called a place called No Flex. And whenever I walk past it, I always think, damn, that's a no flex zone for real. But it looks poppin' in there. And I know Ryan and I's original birthday plans,
Mhm.
well, really Ryan's, because it was what he wanted to do,
Mhm.
was to go out dancing, which I think is really good. But
Oh,
you
yeah,
have
yeah.
to be a little bit, you got to be not strategic with it, but yes, you have to be strategic on how you're going to be presenting this. Because it's like, yes, you could choose a bar, right? But then, like, if you choose a bar that's already packed
Yeah.
and beer garden, right? And it's like a bad day at a beer garden, it's so packed, then it's like
Mhm.
fucking chaos in there. So, and it kind of gets like the people who come in kind of stay in their own cliques, you know what I mean? And you're a guy who has a lot of fucking friends, right? You have a
Oh,
lot of friends
I
from
no,
a lot of
I
dipping
don't know if I could say
portions. No,
that.
absolutely. Do you know how many times I go into your fucking party? I don't even know who the fuck this is. That's how you know you have a lot of friends. Like if you go to one of your boys' parties and there are some people that you know and there's some people that you don't know, like who the fuck is this person, right? Like he has a lot of friends. Come on now. So for you, it's like, I don't know,
I'm
half the
flattered.
people that are there sometimes, bro.
Well, I'm always down. That's why, again, I love pulling kind of different groups together
No
just to see how they mix and
flex.
mingle. But
Yeah.
no flex. So this is a, let's see, first ever media art and restaurant and cocktail bar, but it has a 70-foot LED wall, creating an atmosphere that shifts with the rhythm of time and music. This is straight off the page, by the way.
Fucking, I'm telling you, I don't even have to sell it. No flex sells itself.
It says also here at No Flex, it also has like, a trademark sign or incorporated New York City. You're not just going out, you're diving into a one of kind sensory experience. All right. Oh
As I'm
shit.
telling
Okay.
ya, we should visit it one time. Dude, we can pop into No Flex when we're in K Town next week. It's right
Okay.
over there. We'll just pop in, see how it feels, maybe get a drink. If it's lame, get the fuck out. Then we
Yeah,
got
yeah, yeah.
the karaoke thing. But yeah,
Interesting. Okay, that's noted for the next one.
yeah.
Alrighty, alrighty.
I
But
mean, it's worth it to check out at the very least, right?
I wonder if they play games there, like, football games or all that stuff. Like, aside from it being like a nightlife experience, do they do like sports events or stuff like that? You know,
Yankees.
Yankees didn't do too hot.
What's going on?
Um,
Do you know if they lose the third, they're out? Is that what's up?
I
They
have to
already
look at the
lost two, so aren't
standings.
they out? What's going on?
I think it's the best of 5, if I remember. So if let me just quickly look this up.
We have to fight them
Yeah,
5 times.
against
We
the
have to
Blue Jays, I
win
mean,
3 times. We have to win 3 times in a row.
see, time to panic. I mean,
Time to
New York has a
panic.
New York has a problem in terms of collapsing. That happened with the Mets earlier this week. So, let's see.
Let's not even talk about the Mets because they didn't even make it to this portion. Okay? So we have to fucking rally up. New York has to rally up for our boys, the Yankees. Don't fuck around.
And the Yankees, so they got blown out yesterday and they
Yeah, it
lost
was like
today.
10 to
And like,
2 or some shit.
yeah, I think they're down to their last game pretty much. But it's tough. Like, there's nothing to celebrate for New York. You know what I mean?
Knicks,
The Knicks will get, well, again,
the
basketball season is
Giants.
basically started off. Also, well, no, football, we can't even talk about. I guess
We got
football's
mad
like,
love for the Islanders.
actually, uh, something that I wanted to talk about because I
Yeah.
felt like it's who actually is bothered by Bad Bunny performing in the Super Bowl. Like, I
Bad
didn't,
Bunny performing in the Super Bowl.
he's the Super Bowl performer. And
Hmm.
like, I saw some buzz about this and
I'm hype as fuck.
I can't figure out to what extent it's actually an issue or people are just trying to make an issue just for the sake of buzzworthiness. But yeah, I'm excited for him to be performing at the Super Bowl. I'm curious as to why, like, some people, I think
What are
one that I
people's
saw,
arguments to why they don't want him? Because he doesn't speak English? Is that what's going
let's
on?
see. I think Danica Patrick, let me just
Oh
see if,
shit.
yeah.
Okay, we have celebrities talking about it.
Yeah, so Danica Patrick,
Wow.
who
Okay.
was a Formula racer, but yeah, she
Yeah.
was complaining about like, oh, they need someone who obviously is more American, I suppose, or speaks English. And so,
Okay. I could see that argument. I could see that argument.
yeah,
When I think about the Bad Bunny performing for the halftime show, I think it's a good thing. If number one, his
yeah.
music is popping, his music is great, the world loves him, and I'm reminded a couple years ago when Taylor Swift did the halftime show. Right, somebody at the office ended up asking me, "Who do you think is a bigger star, Taylor Swift or Bad Bunny?" And at that time, it was really, really hard to say anything but Taylor Swift because it was Taylor Swift's year. Okay.
Right.
Like she was heavy. At the time, I would have answered, no fucking way. Taylor Swift is a goddess right now.
Hmm.
Okay. Bad Bunny is not even ready for that shit. But when I think about it now, do I think Bad Bunny is ready for this? He's a global star now. It almost
Yeah.
makes you want to reconsider. Don, who do you think is a bigger star today? Taylor Swift or Bad Bunny? Worldwide now.
At this current moment or current frame of time, I might lean towards Bad Bunny.
That's what I'm
I would
talking about.
probably, yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Feel like people had problems again with like someone like Bad Bunny. One of the performances that I actually really liked, Bruno Mars when he first did the Super Bowl, but they didn't believe in him well enough that they put the Red Hot Chili Peppers. And this is not an attack on Red Hot Chili Peppers, but that's splitting the music up into different genres. And I think at the time, Bruno Mars, they felt me not have been a strong enough performer, even though I think vocally and as a showman, he is impressive across the board. They put him together with someone else. It's a tough discourse in that vein, I guess. I know Shakira and J-Lo did one, and some people were saying, or at least J-Lo, I think, was also kind of complaining that, oh, she should have had the show to herself, right? So, it's, yeah, I don't know. I think Bad Bunny is going to be fine. I love his catalog. I mean, I'm excited for when he puts like Nueva Yol and like Tite Me Pregunto, up on stage,
It's going to be a lot more fun than last year's Kendrick Lamar. I'll tell you that. All right. I know everyone wanted Kendrick Lamar to have his Mortal Kombat finish him moment, but
Yeah.
did we really want to be as hype with Kendrick Lamar during the halftime show? I don't think we really were. And I'm just being honest.
But I enjoyed his halftime show, but in a way, because of the whole Drake controversy, I think it definitely propelled him into the frame of, again, just like, oh, this is like my coup de grace of this fight between me and Drake.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You know, with Kendrick Lamar, it wasn't just Kendrick Lamar, it was Kendrick Lamar and SZA. Yes, I understand this.
Yeah.
If you were to ask me, Gabe, what is the optimal halftime show from this point on? Like, what do you want to see from this point on in terms of halftime shows? I
Mhm.
think we need to see an artist that is the best in their lane, right?
Mhm.
We need to see Michael Jackson level, Prince level, Beyonce level, and
Yeah.
I'm ready to say Bad Bunny level. Okay.
Mhm.
Do I want them to have other acts in between that I don't know and be surprised? Yes, I actually kind of do like that. You know, when you have an artist that plays their track in
Mhm.
a medley way, that's cool. But what's cooler than that? I'm not sure who performed before, but I remember there was a performance and all of a sudden Missy Elliott came out and that was really
Oh,
cool.
that's a great hip hop one. Yeah.
Yeah, right. That was really cool. Like it wasn't such and such and Missy Elliott. Just say Bad Bunny. But then when Bad Bunny performs, man, let's have like 2 or 3 of them. That would be really, really cool. Like have it turn into a real celebration. Like I get it. Halftime show with Bad Bunny. Yes, let's do that. I want them to do that. You know, sometimes when you say, oh, when they mix in the Red Hot Chili Peppers, it may be like, ooh, that doesn't sound too good because it's like you can only have Bruno Mars. I wish they would have just said Bruno Mars, not said Red Hot Chili Peppers. And then when he performed, the Red Hot Chili Peppers came out and they did like a mix of their music. I love that. Let's do it for fucking music. We're going to hear some shit that's going to be incredible. When artists come together, there's something beautiful that we would have never seen ever. And I think we have an opportunity. So in my eyes, let's have a number one star like Bad Bunny. Let's include a bibbida bobbidi boo of other shit that we don't know that may not mix, but we are pleasantly surprised of. And I think we're going to have a really, really memorable halftime show. When an artist just performs their discography, yes, it's great. Okay.
Mhm.
But is it memorable compared to their other performances? I would beg to say, no, it's not. And then come on, who would be awesome and maybe left field? It doesn't have to be left field, but who would be awesome, would you say, if Bad Bunny performed with and they had like somebody come in, right? Maybe like a Carol G, right? I know maybe it's too much Latin, it's too much Latin, right? But if it was non-Latin, I don't know, who would be amazing?
I gotta look this up. I'm trying to think right now. Like Bad Bunny collabs. Like who would be like, let's see, Dua Lipa, Drake? I mean, it would be kind of funny if
Yeah, that
Drake
would be
showed
really,
up.
really cool if Drake showed
Yeah,
up for
yeah.
like one song. That would
I
be
mean, I,
ultra memorable. We need
I mean, I
something
just
like
think, yeah,
that.
when it comes, you have to play with the music well. That I think it blends well. Like for example, I think Coldplay did one with Beyonce and Bruno Mars, and then I feel like it kind of
Amazing.
it was amazing, but I think the focus and the lens of the entire show went more directly onto Bruno Mars and Beyonce because
That's
Beyonce was
okay.
doing Formation. You know,
Hey man,
you
like
know,
what else could you do? Coldplay was not as hot. That's not what people wanted to see, right? Like
yeah.
you have to think about it. Predominant people who are going to be watching this are going to be NFL fans. And what type of music do they listen to? I'm not saying that we should always put that all the time,
I'm
but
just surprised that
maybe
it
a little bit of
becomes an
Bing Bong.
issue because I feel like 2 years ago, Titi Me Pregunta was literally in every bar, club. Like the moment you like play that track, everybody, like especially the young kids, were like listening to it. So I feel like it's a pretty malleable song and a very popular one. So
I don't know.
I don't know.
Why would people have a problem with it? Because they have nothing else better to do and think about.
Yeah, everyone's got
Honestly,
to find an
like,
issue.
really? What the fuck are we even? This is what we've come to, bro. Like complaining about stupid shit that's really not in our control. But
Well,
hey, I mean, it's okay. Shout out to what was her name? Who said that tweet? Who had originally had a problem?
oh, Danica Patrick.
Danica Patrick. Yo, shout out to you for saying your opinion. That's okay. If you think it's whack, it's whack.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
okay.
I mean, hey, she's okay. No, she's entitled to her own opinion. Although, again, she kind of walked it back after realizing that, like, oh, that's not my intent or that's not what I mean. But she
Yeah.
basically said, like, oh, like people need to be singing along with it, and she pretty much said that people can't sing along with like, you know, Bad Bunny.
And hey,
But I,
maybe Bad Bunny performs something that is sing alongable that will surprise you in the beauty and
yeah,
artistry that which is music. Okay.
yeah, I think
Boom.
more than more than anything, I want people to be surprised and like pleasantly surprised. Like again, people have impressions and these impressions can be changed, right? Then past that, I mean again, also I think people just need to kind of shut the fuck up. Cuz like
There you
sometimes
go.
people tweet too much, people read on the internet too much, and it's like hold your opinion. People need to always be like again, people have main character syndrome. At the same time, you don't have to like if you have nothing nice to say, you don't have to say anything at all. It's simple. And be open to being proven otherwise. Like
You know,
sometimes I might think it's fun, yeah, so but
no,
like
I
I might
have
be
no
changed. Like yeah,
problem. I have zero problem with anyone posting their opinion. That's okay. And
I'm
I
not trying
think
to say that
like
either,
anyone should
right?
say that.
Yeah.
Of course. But
Yeah.
it must have been a bad day of news when whoever reported that in the first place thought that was something notable to even give the time of day for whatever reason. If
Yeah.
you want to air out Danica Patrick or if you really wanted to go against fucking Bad Bunny, it must have been a slow day at news for that to be like a thing, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's totally fine for people to say your opinion. And yes, you're absolutely right. Sometimes it's better not to say anything if you know how the beast moves. That's really what I'm saying.
The
But
internet is an unforgivable place, and it's
mm,
forever written in the stars. Like, the moment you put it on the internet, dude, they'll backtrack to that, and they'll eat you forever for it, you know?
no,
Like
no, no. Thank you for bringing that up. That was a good one. That was a very, very good one because I thought about it and in my head of like, oh, I don't really give a shit about this. I didn't think it was a very important thing to talk about, but I think it is.
I remember what music I used to listen to and what I listen to now. I listen to so much that you should be open to listening and to just feeling the energy of being there and having someone perform, whether or not you understand their language. But it's like, again, that's part of being American is we have so many different cultures like melding with us. And why do you have to be that fucking gatekeeper? I had to say that, man. Like, stop gatekeeping. Like, say your opinion, but also be open, be proven wrong. Right? That's all
No,
I
I
ask.
I absolutely agree. And sometimes I think about like why is it such a big deal? And why does it seem all right, let's take media out of here and let's not dwell
Yeah.
too much on this topic.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
why is it that China, it feels like China and Russia are united? And that may not be the case, right? That may not be the case exactly. But I think it's a little bit difficult for the US to really contain itself with not just the amount of people, but the fact that we are 50, 51 states combined into one, right? There
Mhm.
will be sides and parts of America that agree, and there will be other parts of America that totally think oppositely. I don't know. It's just a kind of like a weird thing that like sometimes I think about. You can kind of think about how all the cities think one way or think a certain way, and then Middle America, literally the center of America, thinks another way. I get that, but it's just like how are we going to compose ourselves in order for us to remain united? Number one, because that's in our fucking name, okay?
Mhm.
And we could move in a positive direction. I don't know. It's kind of like a really, really tough situation, right? With how we are. We have to do it with all this bullshit.
One side believes they're losing their identity and giving too much away, but at the same time, come on, guys, like, we can't return to the past. We can still keep the past alive and learn from the mistakes from then and just we're changing. We're always changing. We could still again keep those things alive in some way, but also certain things just get outdated, you know. I'm not trying to say keep not don't keep your traditions, but this loss or this vehement protection of like older principles and identity, I think also to a certain extent is being blown out of proportion, you know. But I don't want to dwell into it too
Right?
much, you know.
It's a mixed bag of
You know,
shit.
it's a minefield, you know what I mean? But, yeah, man, you
Yes.
know, it's things are crazy today. I'm just trying to help disarm that and not just keep the peace, but just help change the way people see things and look at things. But
Mm.
all right. So is it now
Ladies.
that time of the
Yes.
hour?
Absolutely. It is that time of the hour. Thank you so much for sending in your questions. It is the segment of every single podcast, the question of the day. Ask Don. Don, are you ready?
Oh yeah, I'm ready.
Okay. Give me one moment. All right. Don, my boyfriend never posts me on his Instagram, not even a story or a subtle
Mhm.
tag. He says he really doesn't use social media like that, but I know that he does, posting probably 1 or 2 times a week. Am I being insecure? Is it fair to feel disrespected when he has the time to gas up himself and other parts of his life, but not acknowledge his girlfriend? What's the deal?
Ooh, okay.
I know many examples of people who are going through this.
I feel like I know a lot of people who go through that also, but I also know a lot of people who are just not on social media. I feel like they'll put like one post of their significant other like once every like 6 months and vice versa, and then just put up random shit. Case in point, like I
Mm.
don't post on social media ever. Like at least in terms of posting. I do stories, but I'm not trying to like I feel like when it comes down to way social media is, it's supposed to represent or be something to show off to people. To a certain extent, I could see why this person's bothered because there are people who are very much flaunting that, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
I don't think it's an issue. At least for me, I don't think it's an issue because you know, they not many people have to be part of your livelihood with this person. Are you guys good? I guess that's my question. Like, are you guys good? If you guys are good, then you know, it's okay. You don't have to always have a chapter for everyone to read. Maybe that's just me. Like, you don't have to always like show that to everyone. And if you guys, as long like you know, in my opinion, if you guys have more photos on your phones, you know, and like you're taking pictures together and vice versa, then I think that's good. I think that's fine, you know, but I don't think you need to flaunt everything for everyone else to see unless you feel pressured by like your parents, your aunts, your uncles, your cousins. Are you trying to keep up with the Joneses? You're trying to keep up with anybody? Like, well, what's the deal?
Yeah,
Like,
that is a thing to
you
consider
know,
as well.
and that is something again, it depends on the cultures, you know. I don't want to talk about specific people I know, but I do know people who like to put up weekly updates. So like, oh, I took this person to this restaurant. I took this person to here. And there's a not just like there's a lot of people I know who like to put these updates for everyone. And maybe that is their sign of like, you know, like love or service to that person. And they feel comfortable with it. You probably have to have this conversation with yourself and with this other person of that. Do you feel that's what is your minimum to be in this relationship? But I personally don't feel like it's an issue. I don't know how you feel about that, Gabe, though.
You know, usually I don't like to say that, okay, this is a good reason to talk to your partner about. But I think in this case, where social media is so prevalent in everyday life, I think this is worthy of a conversation, especially if you care about this. It's hard to delve into specifics because we don't know much. So I guess the best thing that I can do is ask Don personally, just to kind of gauge it in your mind. But okay, Don, right? If you were in a fresh relationship, right? I'm just going to ask you random questions that pertains to this.
Yeah.
If you were in a new relationship, would you think that sometime during this relationship that you would post your significant other either in a story or a post? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. Would the first showing have their face on it? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes, it would have their face on it. So for specifics, you would never do like a soft launch. Like maybe you're at a picture with, the kids know this. Like you're at a picture with dinner, but there's two plates, maybe a hand. Some would consider that's
a soft launch.
being
That's
a soft launch.
Yeah.
Would you do a soft launch?
I would.
Okay. So let me ask you another question. Before you ever post your significant other, soft launch, hard launch, any launch, would you wait until they do it first? Or would you do it first? You would not do it first.
Okay. I wouldn't be afraid to post it first.
You wouldn't be afraid to post it first. All right. And rough estimate on the time frame since you guys first became girlfriend and boyfriend, when would you think you would do that? Or is that thinking too much? You don't care. Like it could be that night.
I think that's tonight. I think that's thinking too much. Whatever you feel is right for you. I mean, again, I don't think there's a right answer for that. I do think it's really just a matter of perspective.
Okay. No. That's fine. That's fine. And let's not get caught up on that. Me and you agree on all of these questions, except for two things. I would 100% wait until I get posted first. Soft launch, hard launch first. Mm-hmm. All right. It doesn't matter if we're boyfriend, girlfriend, dating or not, or after. I would never be the first one. That's just me. Okay. It's not like I have a thing about it. That's just me. Would I post them if I was posted afterwards? Absolutely. For me, the lock is removed. Now I will post you as much as I want. Am I posting you all the time? No. We're not going to do that. Special occasions only, of course. I'm reminded of certain situations of friends of ours, people who've been close to us, who've been in relationships. And I always see the guy posting a lot more about the relationship. And the girl will post very little or nothing at all.
Yeah, that I've seen.
Right? And for as much as I agree with you that, it isn't a big deal. It isn't a big deal. You're thinking about it too much. In my eyes, that's a red flag. There is something not aligned there. It's either someone's giving too much or someone is giving too little.
So do you feel like it's a red flag because it's a guy in this case?
Okay, that's a good question to ask. So if it's a guy, okay. And if it's a girl who doesn't post, who does post, but the guy doesn't post, is that a red flag? That is a red flag, but not as big as a red flag if it was the girl not posting. Absolutely. That's how I think, right? That's how I think it would be. Why? If you want me to quickly defend myself, I feel like posting your significant other is a task, just like I say, they need to do first, is a thing that they need to do more often, and is a female thing, if I may. Let's not bring up toxic masculinity and whatnot, but hey, man, it's what I grew up with. It's my fucking environment. So that's how I feel. A guy doing it more not only supports that because it's like, the guy's kind of bitchy. You know what I mean? The guy's kind of bitchy. He feels like he needs to go out there and show his relationship more. So it's like, it kind of works opposite in the same way in my favor. But let's go back. It's just really, really cool to think of like points in that. Because my friend I was with my friend during our birthday, and my friend posted a picture of this girl's hand. And then we got into this whole conversation about soft launching and not. And trust me, like if you ask me, I cannot wait to soft launch anybody. Okay.
Of course.
But I will be secure enough, and some would say insecure enough, to wait until I'm posted first. Because, sometimes as a guy, it's not even just because it's like a bitchy thing to do or a selfish thing to do or like an attention whoring thing to do.
Right.
But it's like, from my end, I want to be respectful that she does.
That's
If she
true
doesn't
too.
want to get
Yeah.
posted, I want to respect that, right?
Yeah.
So some girls don't like their relationship out there, and I get that too.
Which that's kind of part of it as well. Like, there's a lot of celebrities who don't talk about their personal life at all, even though it's a point of conversation. It's like, oh, chismes, we'll have this person talking about that. And it creates a buzz, whether negative or positive, but it creates a buzz,
Yeah,
and hence this person gets more popular because of that. But I know people who are just like, I don't want people getting in that business of it because that's between me and my partner.
my
So
partner. So yeah, so yes, a conversation is definitely necessary. Go talk to your fucking. This is a girl, right? Yeah, my boyfriend. Yeah, go talk to your man and ask him, hey, why aren't you posting me? It seems like you definitely posted him already. I would assume that you never said anything about what you posted about him, but it sounds like you definitely soft launched, hard launched him already, right? And
mhm.
if that's the case, and he hasn't, even shared your post of what you tagged him in, that might be a conversation to have. He's on Instagram, he does stories. Maybe if maybe even interacting with other people, other women, Jesus, Lord mercy, that's going to
Yeah.
be something you're going to want to have to talk about.
Quickly going back, for this last point though,
Mm-hmm.
again, now that I am thinking about it though, I think it just depends on the frequency, but if she's posting up all the time and the guy doesn't, I feel like guys tend to post more also, but
In some cases,
in some cases, yeah,
we're
yeah,
all human
but
beings.
yeah, I mean, again, I think it's case by case ultimately, but like I said, maybe for me, I'm of the mind right now that like unplugging from social media is a great thing, and at least for specific things, not everything has to be put out there, for everyone. I'm actually more curious, does this person talk about you or glow you up in person? Like, especially when you're around other people, I care more about the personal relationship when you're together and around other people rather than what you put up on like the web for everyone else to see, you
For
know?
sure, for sure. No, no, no. I 100% agree with that. But if this
Yeah.
person cares, right, about
Yeah.
this, then this is essentially a part of their relationship as well. I would be remiss, and I would feel a little bit, not some type of way, but I would be kind of sad, right? If I
Yeah.
was
No, I'm with you
posting
there.
my longtime girlfriend time and time again, and I never get posted. I never get posted. It should really be the
Yeah.
other way around, right?
No, and
Um,
not to be a hypocrite either, but that has like been something I've said about other people, and I've observed it. And I literally said to my boy, I'm like, "Hey, you do all the hard work or heavy lifting in this. I guess you okay that she doesn't really put up stuff about you?" And then he'll tell me his stuff pretty much. But
It's a tough one. It's a tough one. And not everything that we say is going to be like, oh, yeah, just because Gabe or Don thinks it's a red flag or a good or bad thing to do, they shouldn't or shouldn't be doing it. They should or shouldn't
it's
be
not as
doing it. So, yeah,
straightforward for
it's definitely
sure.
not as straightforward. This one's a kind of like a tough one. In my ideal world, to wrap up what I believe is optimal, judge me for however you want to put this, is that a girl and a guy in a relationship, they're both posting. A girl posts,
Yeah.
the girl and guy posts around the same frequency, that would be okay. What would be ideal is a girl probably posting a little bit more than the guy does. That's just how I think it.
And
You ask
well,
me a
for me,
question,
it's
I'm gonna answer it. So there you
hey,
go.
no, I feel it should be balanced for sure. Yeah, like thinking about it personally, it should be balanced for sure. But again, if this person's not on social media, that's okay too.
Oh
And
yeah, yeah. If they're not on social media, then all bets are off.
yeah, that's
Like
their off.
they're not even
Yeah,
fucking there. What else
yeah.
could you
But
do?
if he's always with his boys, you know, mm, yeah, you know,
Not to stay on it too long, but whatever you post on your story is kind of saying it's a highlight of your life. I
yeah,
only try to post the times in which I'm happy. And whenever I take out my phone and record myself and my homies, just know
mhm,
that I'm in a really, 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 really happy state to do that. I'm never going to
yeah,
bust out my phone and camera myself when I'm not happy. So, in a sense, to what behaviors lead to emotions and feelings, that is one that's definitely there. And if you're not a part of that highlight reel, really, that's what it is, the highlights of their life, would you want to question this? Absolutely, you would. You should.
I'm with you there, dude.
There you
I'm with you
go.
there.
There you go. Oh man.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you again for tuning to this episode of the Dual Cast with me and Gabe. Any closing thoughts or remarks on today's conversations?
Thank you so much for listening. If you listened all the way to the very end, you know that we love you. Until next
Yeah,
time,
guys.
guys. Peace, baby.